There's no pump here, no filter running, no tank being refilled. Hasn't rained in 6 days. And yet, look at that. Water sitting in a collection barrel, clean, cold, pulled from nothing. Cost $9 to build the system that's making it. I'm not going to tell you this is some new invention. It's not. Your great-grandparents knew exactly how this worked. Every farmhouse in rural America before 1950 had a version of this running. Not because they were clever, because they had no other choice. And the reason most people today have never seen one is honestly kind of infuriating. It works too well. It costs too little. And there's no way to put a meter on it. So let me just show you how to build one. You already know this works. You've seen it your whole life and just never connected the dots. That's the barrel your grandfather kept under the eave of every outbuilding he owned. That's the stone cistern still sitting in the basement of every farmhouse built before running water arrived. That's an entire generation of people who understood something we've completely forgotten. That rain doesn't just fall on your roof and disappear into the ground. It falls on your roof and runs exactly where you tell it to. Every square foot of roof surface catches every drop that lands on it. The only question is whether you're collecting it or losing it. A 1,000 square foot roof in a region that gets 30 inches of rain per year collects over 18,000 gallons of water annually. 18,000 gallons. Falling on a surface you already own. Going nowhere. Here's what's actually happening when rainwater hits a roof. Rain falls as distilled water. It has no minerals, no sediment, no agricultural runoff, no chlorine, no fluoride. It is the purest form of water that exists naturally on this planet before it touches anything. The moment it hits your roof, it picks up whatever is on that surface. Dust, pollen, bird droppings, debris from the first flush of a rainfall. But after that first flush, typically the first 2 minutes of rain, the water running off your roof is cleaner than most municipal tap water. Your grandparents knew this. They built their collection systems to waste the first flush and collect everything after. That's the entire engineering principle. And it requires no electricity, no moving parts, and no permission from anyone. People were doing this long before anyone called it rainwater harvesting. Rural families across the American Midwest in the late 1800s collected rainwater as their primary drinking source throughout the dry summer months. Their systems were simple: a clean roof, a gutter, a barrel, a piece of screen over the top to keep insects out. That was it. In rural Australia, corrugated iron roofs were specifically designed for rainwater collection, the material chosen not for aesthetics, but because it sheds water cleanly and doesn't contaminate it. Australian homesteaders in remote areas relied entirely on roof-collected rainwater for drinking, cooking, and bathing for generations. The technology was so reliable that the Australian government published detailed construction guides for it in the early 1900s. In sub-Saharan Africa, traditional rainwater collection structures, built from local materials, requiring zero energy, have been providing clean water to communities for centuries. 3 continents, different climates, different materials, all arriving at the same conclusion independently. Rain falls on every roof. The only question is whether you catch it. The municipal water industry in the United States generates over $100 billion annually. In many states, collecting the rain that falls on your own roof was, until very recently, technically illegal. Not because the water was dangerous, because a population that collects its own water is a population that doesn't pay a monthly water bill. That's not a coincidence. Most states have now changed those laws. But the knowledge of how to do it never came back. The first time I built one of these, I set it up on a Friday afternoon. Nothing fancy. A gutter diverted into a 55-gallon barrel. A piece of window screen over the top. A spigot at the bottom. Cost me $9 in parts because I already had the barrel. Saturday morning it had rained overnight. I opened the spigot. Water ran out. Clean, cold, smelling like rain. I stood there thinking about every water bill I'd ever paid for something that had been falling on my roof for free my entire life. Here's exactly how to build one. And I want to be real with you. This is genuinely the simplest system on this channel. But there's one detail that almost everyone gets wrong the first time, and it makes the water unsafe to drink. I'll show you that in a moment. The parts list. A 55-gallon food-grade barrel, free or nearly free from any car wash, food manufacturer, or restaurant that receives bulk supplies. Search free food-grade barrels in your area, and you'll have one within a week. A length of flexible downspout extension, $3 to $5 at any hardware store. A first flush diverter. This is the part most people skip. A length of PVC pipe, capped at the bottom, installed in line before the barrel. It fills with the first dirty water of every rainfall and only allows clean water to flow into the barrel after. $4 in parts. Without it, your barrel collects everything that washed off the roof. With it, your barrel collects clean water only. A piece of fine mesh screen secured over the barrel opening. Keeps insects out. Keeps debris out. A spigot installed near the bottom, $3 at any hardware store. Total cost, $9 if the barrel is free. Under $30 if you buy one. Now here's the part that turns a garden water source into a genuine drinking water system. And most people who build these never take this step. A simple two-stage filter on the outlet side of the barrel. A mesh pre-filter removes any particulate that made it past the screen. A gravity-fed activated charcoal stage, the same $4 bag from a pet store we've talked about before, removes chemical compounds, odors, and any remaining biological matter. 2 stages. Under $8 in materials. And the water coming out is cleaner than the tap water most people are paying for every month. For the full picture, boil it or add 1 drop of unscented household bleach per liter if you're using it as a primary drinking source in an area with significant air pollution or if your roof is older than 20 years and may have lead flashing. Otherwise, filter and drink. The atmosphere deposits an average of 30 inches of rain per year across most of the continental United States. On a standard suburban roof, that's 15,000 to 20,000 gallons falling on a surface you already paid for. Going into a storm drain. Disappearing. While you pay $50, $80, $100 a month for water delivered through pipes that are, in many cities, over 100 years old. Your great-grandparents didn't have that option. They caught what fell. They built systems that worked without asking anyone's permission. And somewhere in the last 70 years, as municipal water arrived, as the tap became reliable, as the quarterly water bill became just another thing that gets paid automatically, those systems came down. The barrels were repurposed. The knowledge stopped being passed down. The rain kept falling. I don't know what brought you here. Maybe the water bill has been climbing and you're looking for something real. Maybe you're building something off-grid and water is the piece that keeps you up at night. Maybe you grew up watching a grandparent tend a rain barrel and always wondered why nobody does that anymore. Maybe you just like knowing how 18,000 gallons of free water falls on your roof every year and ended up here at midnight following a question you couldn't let go of. It doesn't matter. The rain is falling either way. $9 in one afternoon and it stops disappearing. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.